All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio.
In studio.
Joined, as always, by Randy Von Angston. What's up, man?
Good day, my friend.
It's, what is it, a Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday.
You doing tacos tonight?
I could do tacos any day.
Yeah.
I did tacos yesterday, let's be 100%.
100%.
But I will not be doing tacos today.
As long as you don't have the margaritas with it, I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Tacos aren't that bad for you.
I mean, a deconstructed taco is like my meal prep.
Yeah, just without the tortilla.
Yeah, I mean, like ground beef, some rice, some veggies. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Quick announcement, everybody.
There we
I just want to kind of give you everybody a heads up, a warning. I don't know when this episode's coming out, but you've got the time is ticking away on our Fit Pro Growth Summit. FitProGrowthSummit.com. That's our event in Nashville. Like we said a million times before, if you're listening to this show, that means you should be in the audience. Now, we got some great speakers this year.
Oh, yeah.
We got our friend Rick Mayo. I don't know if you guys know Rick Mayo is the founder of Alloy Personal Training. It's a franchise now. He used to be a licensee, and many of you listening used that model back in the day.
Or a variation of kind of
Yep.
some of the groundwork Rick laid.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's going to be speaking about, all the things, trench, in the trenches, what he's learned, and how to focus on that one thing, which for him was the franchise. We got Martin Rooney. He's our keynote, kind of closing out the show. He's, and I've told him this, I think he's the best speaker I've ever seen at any of the fitness summits.
I mean, he brings energy. That's the thing. He's a coach, like he exudes that from stage, and it's the difference of just somebody who could be up there and educate well. Like he gets you involved, he gets you connected to the info.
Fired up. Yeah, he's going to leave everybody fired up. He kind of closes the show out. He's got so many stories to tell. He's got some great books. We've got a book for everybody. His newest book is going to be on your desk or on your table when you get there on that Saturday. And then, of course, you got Stu Brower from WTF Gym Talk.
Yeah.
Great guy, comes from the CrossFit world. We've become friends over the last couple of years now, and he's just something's cool about him is he made a decision to retire from the gym business. He sold, he owned the property, and he's making more money from the lease, the tenants, and he's kind of paying for his lifestyle. It's a great story. John Farkas, Jerry Washak of the Fit in 42 model. Gosh, what a great model. I tell him that every time, and that model is just like one of my favorite models. Teresa and Justin Kegley. It's just some great folks. Of course, happy hours, networking. We got some great people. I already know a lot of the people that are coming to the event. But what's really cool about this year, and I'm the most excited about, there's some folks I've never met before.
There's a lot of that. That's something that we've said consistently is we're surprised at how many of the names aren't people that have been in our ecosystem or been part of the conversation before. So really excited to provide some value and hopefully expose people to some ideas and things like that they haven't heard before, and give them the opportunity to level up. So
and I just polished off my presentation for my first presentation yesterday. I'm excited. Oh man, so I've got 19 flags, stories and stories. It's gonna be a great presentation. Grab your tickets now, guys. FitProGrowthSummit.com. We are selling out, and you're not gonna want to miss this event.
Absolutely not.
All right, so this episode, guys, we're going to talk about your gym being a relationship business.
Yeah.
I know what this podcast title says. It says relationships in your gym, and that's the truth. It's the relationships in your gym, but it may not be what you're thinking. For years in this business, one of the tactics when somebody signs up with you is to ask them for referrals at the point of sale.
Yeah.
And you brought it up to me this morning. It's like, man, isn't this the dirtiest tactic in the book? It's like not dirty, it's just ingenuine, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And so this has been around since I've been in this business. It's like, you have a sheet and you slide it over at the point of sale. Like, hey, I know you're super excited about joining. Is there 3 to 5 friends that you can tell me that would also benefit from what you're doing? And think about that position for a second. You're the person that just signed up, and now this gym who just for the last 20, 30, 40 minutes was talking about you and your goals is now asking you to provide references and people that you can refer to them.
It puts all of the emphasis on a P&L and takes it away from your needs, you as the client. So like you said, it's kind of
And so, how do you feel as that person? You're feeling like, man, this kind of sucks. It kind of feels greasy, a little snaky, right? And unfortunately, that tactic is still being used daily in gyms across the U.S., across the world.
Sure.
And the thought process around why people do it is like, you have somebody who's so excited to sign up that it should be easy for them to just go ahead and give you other people. But at the end of the day, that you should, first off, you shouldn't be doing that
at all.
Because now that you understand, like, really what kind of position does that put you in? Is the person that signs up, they don't care about me, they just want more members. Yep. And then the person on the other side, the gym, selling this and asking for that referral at day one, you haven't earned the right to ask for a referral yet. You've proven nothing yet.
This tactic screams the fact that it came from another industry, right? Like we talk about all the time, we sell delayed gratification. Mm-hmm. We sell an opportunity. We do not sell the result day one. If somebody goes to a tanning salon and they buy a package of I don't know, tans, I guess it is, right? And then, and in that initial transaction, they go, hey, do you have any friends that are interested in also getting tan today? Like, I could kind of see that. Why? Because that person's walked away. They've already experienced it. They know what they're getting. It's easy to understand. But our results could be 3, 6, 8 months from now.
In the gym business.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like the thing that matters to that client, we haven't even touched on. We haven't even come close to actually, like, providing that service.
Right.
So the whole earn the opportunity, right? We have not earned the right to ask for that referral because we have not served that client yet.
Right.
We haven't given them a reason to put their name on our business to their friends. I mean, and then you at the other end of the spectrum, we brought this up, is myself, I would be pissed if one of my friends gave my information to a company to call me simply because they were asked like that.
Yeah.
Like, I value our relationship more than that sales tactic. Please don't do that to me.
Right.
I don't need that person chasing me simply because they thought I was a great fit or something like that, right?
And what does the gym say when they call that person? Hey, we just signed up your friend Randy at the gym today, and he thought that you'd be a great fit. Would you like to come in? You're answering the phone. You're like, what are you talking about? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who's Randy? Like, what are you talking about? So anyways, if you're doing that, pump the brakes a little bit and decide maybe that's not the best solution to drive leads into your business.
Yeah.
Now, what are the good ways to drive leads into the business? Well, relationships with that client over time should result in referrals. And yes, down the road, once you've earned the right and you've got them results, you've met their needs, sure, it's okay at that point to say, hey, we'd love to have more clients like you. You have a friend or family you want to come in, bring in with you next time. There's nothing wrong with that down the road, but at the point of sale, stop it, right?
Well, you got to take that. You touched on it in the level of excitement, right? Mm-hmm. I completely agree. The best time to ask for a referral is when your client's excited, but make it when the client's excited about the results that you got them,
that you earned,
that you earned. Good call. Not the fact that you convinced them to buy your stuff. Like that is. It's so, it's insulting in my, this one rubbed me the wrong way. Like on the way in, the idea came up in a book we were reading.
Yep.
And I was just like, I can't believe businesses are doing this today, especially training businesses. I mean, we're talking $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. Mm-hmm. If it was a $9.99 gym and it was turn and burn and that was their whole model, I could kind of see how gyms are doing that today. But even then, it's still disgusting in my opinion. It's the wrong way to go about it. That's really what it is.
So, obviously as a gym, you want referrals. In fact, we have a coaching client that just came on board, a gym owner in Texas. That's almost all he has is referrals. And that's great. But it comes a point in time. And if you listen to a couple of our podcasts ago, like, hey, this isn't going to last forever. And sure, the newness of the gym and everybody's coming in, that's great, and capitalize on that. But you've got to earn the business over the long term. So how do you do that? It's a client experience. And the book that we're talking about, if you guys ever want to go read it, it's a great book called Never Lose a Customer Again. It's got a little red balloon on the cover if you want to check that out. But it talks about, the experience in your gym and how to win over your clients for the long term. Another thing that they talk about in that book, which was interesting, was like, hey, when you give somebody a gift, maybe it's 30 days or 90 days or a thank you for doing business with us. A lot of gyms or a lot of businesses will send over a logo on a cup and a T-shirt with your logo on it. It's really not a gift for them. It's a gift for the business. And yes, while it's awesome to get a shirt, and especially in the gym, like in the gym, I almost feel like this is the only time you can do that because they need stuff to wear in the gym anyway. So it's kind of a benefit for this, throw a shirt on or whatever.
Sure.
It's got your logo on it. It's a win-win. But like if you really want to wow that customer, you give them something that means something to them,
Correct.
like a book or a bottle of wine that they talked about, or if they're going on a trip, something for that trip that you listened to what they were saying. And you gave them like a towel for the trip, going to the beach. Hey, I'm excited for you. We'll see you when you come back, kind of thing. One of the things that we're doing here is books. Like we came out with a list of books. We bought a stack of books, and we're going to be handing them out based on the client, in the conversations they're having, organically, right? Organically, and so referrals are great, but we have to pump the brakes at the point of sale. Don't do that. But over time, listen, you guys, you can win your clients over with great, if you respect them and they'll respect you, but if you give them a great experience, and there's so many little touch points along the way. And we're revamping and rebuilding, our model here to touch the client, reach out and communicate at specific times, gifts, meetings, special things that happen throughout their journey. Badges, rewards, levels, and all that kind of stuff. And, you would say Jordan Peterson, if there's anything that's doing well, we're doing better, right? And so we constantly are looking at that, and we rebuilt it. We've actually done the first 52 weeks of their membership. Like that's the first 100 days anymore.
Yeah, I love
We've taken it all the way through.
And there's things that should be done on top of it. A great thing came up yesterday in one of my coaching calls with my coach, and it was unexpected intentional touches. So you got your clients out there, shoot them a text. Like it's sometimes outside of the realm of like the routine or the automated, right? Like it's a Monday, just that random touch point. Like make it a habit in your business to shoot 2 texts to 2 clients a day. Like just, hey, it's been a minute since we talked. Like, how's your journey going? Yep. Or talk about something specific that maybe you do know is going on, or whatever it might be, but not the routine. He talked about some numbers, how it's affected their business and things like that, but massive. He worked for an organization in Microsoft, and he was brought in to coach a team in Microsoft. And the team that he coached, this was one of the biggest things that they brought up that changed their business the most, they felt. That team had the highest scores of any team in Microsoft in the entire world, simply by changing that one thing.
Which was what?
It's adding unexpected intentional touches to their clients' days. So they did nothing else the only thing that they focused on was adding like a couple
touch points,
random touch points in a day.
Great. We're doing that here. So that's
exactly. But it goes to show that relationship. You built the relationship. You weren't concerned about a sale. You weren't concerned about some of that stuff. You just showed the client that you cared about them.
I think the overall message here, everybody listening, is there's 2 different types of business. There's a transactional business and then the relationship business. And so the transactional business is like, hey, I go pump my gas at the gas station. I give my money. I get the gas. I go on my way. There's no relationship involved at a gas station or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or a coffee shop, you go
you're
buy
buy the gas anyways. You're gonna buy the coffee. Yeah,
exactly. And so that's the opposite of what we do in the fitness industry. We are so relationship driven. And here's how you can tell how big of a relationship driven business you are. Is just listen to the conversations out on the training floor.
Yeah.
They're telling about their lives, their stories, their kids, their animals, their dogs and stuff. All that stuff's going around. You're not having that kind of conversation at a gas station or whatever. Like think about any transaction.
Teller
Now, that's if you're doing it right. Now, there's plenty of gyms that have become a transactional business, which is not a good place to be because guess what? They can go down the street and do the same business with somebody else. There's no tie to your gym. And so what do I mean by that? If somebody comes in, works out, doesn't talk to anybody and leaves, that's technically a transaction. It's just that there's no relationship involved. There's no communication with the staff or other members and all that stuff. And so there's really no other tie than you're solving the need of getting the workout today.
Sure.
And that's one of the red flags that we're going to bring up in the presentation is like, look, you have to be more than a place that people work out. The minimum expectations is the workout. You can tie this back to a hotel. The minimum expectation is a room to sleep in.
There you go.
But then you look at some hotels that are doing it off the charts, like the W Hotel and the Four Seasons and the Ritz-Carlton, the Waldorf Astoria, and these places that are just over the top.
The standards of a hotel, some of these.
It's the experience.
Yep.
And, in a transactional world of hotels, they have driven the relationship into their business. Hey, Mr. Johnson. Hey, Mr. Lyons. Welcome back. Would you like that, thing that you talked about last time? They've got the notes in their CRM. It's all built into their system.
I'm glad you just said that right there, because you touched on it earlier when you were talking about talking with your clients about the things that are specific to them. When you give them gifts or you do certain things like that, you hit it right there. Those organizations are doing it because they have the data kept into a CRM.
Yes.
So do we, right? Like you guys should too. You should know your client's pets' names after it's been mentioned a couple times. Family names.
Occupation.
There you go.
Right? Family, occupation.
What is that acronym? Ford.
Yeah.
Relationship.
You know what? And I'll give credit to where I read this. This was our buddy Hank, H4 Training. He does this. He wrote a book. He sent it to me, and I read it. It's one of the biggest takeaways in the book. It's Ford. Everybody should have a Ford, like an acronym Ford. It's like family. Are they married? They have kids. Are they grandparents? O is the occupation, the dentist, a flight attendant, a pilot, or whatever. And then
was it
R&D. Desires was the thing. And then
recreation, maybe?
Recreation, golfer, archery, or if they like to freaking sew. And then you have those kind of touch points on every client. You can have that relationship with them. How are your kids doing? How's Marley the dog? Like you told me about the dog. If you remember all these things about your clients, it's just like, man, what a better bond they have to your business.
Certain things just stick, right? The one-liners and things like that. Like I had a coach tell me, I think was it Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn? One of them said it, like an old sales great, and it was, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. Sometimes it's like, we could be there and we could just just talk to somebody, at somebody. They don't give a damn. You know what I mean? But you show that, like, you ask them questions, you engage them, you give them the opportunity to have the floor and make that relationship the priority. You're never going to battle results with your clients. You know what I mean? They're going to tell you about that extra glass of wine. They're going to talk about these things like that. Those walls come down. That trust is built.
What's that book? How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know what the whole concept of that book is?
Better relationships.
It's listening.
Listening, yeah.
Don't talk. Listen. There's a story in that book that two people were on a flight next to each other, and one guy just talked the whole time, and one guy didn't say a word. And at the end of the flight, the guy that was talking the whole time, man, that was a great guy. What a nice guy, that guy. Man, I like that guy. Because he sat and listened to him and maybe like cued him, hey, tell me more about that. And if you're talking all the time in your training sessions, you're not letting your clients talk, or at least at the sales conversation, you're losing the battle. So intentional listening, right? Making sure that you're not just staring at them thinking about the next thing to say, but you're actually listening to the words that they're saying and then making reference to those things that you can bring up later in the conversation. It's a great sales play, but it's also a better relationship play.
Active listening is great. I'm glad you mentioned that, Tim. I was just talking about that with somebody yesterday. You could always tell somebody who gets it well, right? Like they've done the reps, they've been in the positions, or has had training or things like that, right? Because they're intentional about the conversation. They do repeat certain things that you've mentioned back because it solidifies the fact that they're paying attention, and that stuff's great, and it goes a long way. And those relationships, I mean, those are the things, back to that book, like the whole idea is to get those people to like the promoter stage, right? Build the relationships in your business so you have people running around screaming about your service. And it's a really hard thing to do if you're focused on that transaction. It's impossible if you're going to be focused on that transaction. So
just take it back to the gas station. Hey, that pump was the fastest pump in town. Let me tell you about this. You need to go to that gas. Nobody's saying that kind of stuff. So listen, guys, I mean, the overall arching message here is, if you find yourself more of a transactional business, what?
I'll finish that because I just want to add emphasis to the transaction and the relationship.
Transactional business, take a step back and figure out how to inject relationships into your business. Listen to what your clients say. Take notes in the CRM. Make sure that you have the data points that you can speak to. And then, reach out, have conversations. And really, at the end of the day, caring about your client and caring about your client's results is the name to the game. That's the way to success in this business.
Exactly. To solidify that point, the relationship matters. Transactional business. If your business is transactional, you will lose it based on the lack of relationship. And I'll explain that. I went to a gas station, and even though it's transactional, when they drop the ball on the relationship that we still expect in a transaction, I stopped going back, and I'll explain. There's a gas station that's the perfect, most convenient one on my way to work, right? Well, it's happened a couple times now where their systems go down and they go cash only. I can understand it if it was once, seldom. This has been for like days at a time, multiple times now. And so for me, that's extremely inconvenient. I don't have cash. It's a gas station, right? So typically when I stop, it's
Stay
quick.
at the pump.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't have to go, engage and do all this. So the fact that a transactional situation, that's really where our relationship was rooted in. But because they failed the relationship at all, they failed the agreement that they had with me.
The base agreement.
There is no transaction possible.
Yeah.
So now I drive past that gas station, even though their stuff's fixed.
Yeah.
Even though that I can do that, like today, for example, I grabbed an energy drink on the way into the office. I drove past that business intentionally because they burned the relationship with me too many times. I stopped 3 times. I couldn't get my transaction to take place.
They're done.
Somebody else earned it. So the relationship far exceeds the actual transaction, as long as you can be intentional with the relationship.
Yeah.
But it's just as easy to lose that from a transaction.
You're at risk.
Always.
So fix it. Go off, my friends, and go fix these businesses. And that's really the point of this whole story. Is like, look, just take a look at your business and admit maybe there's some things you can do better, and then just go do it. Just go make those things. And we gave you tons of little tips and nuggets you could do. Go do it.
Yep.
Take action. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Until next show, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye. All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.